This video is jam-packed full of inspiration and DIYs and hacks to fix up your outdoor or patio space for this summer. This video is sponsored by Patio Well. I'll tell you all about them later on in the video, but let's go ahead and get started. I was a little bit nervous for this metal ribbon. Now, I have purchased this before, but I hadn't used it before, so I wasn't sure if it would work with hot glue, but it actually worked a lot better than I thought. So I knew I needed something to attach it to, so I am using one of these wooden crates, and I thought it would be fun to not only wrap it around, but actually use it as a handle. I decided to go ahead and paint this black. I felt like black would look really chic with the metal versus like a colorful color, but I was wanting to use some of the succulents that she sent me, so I ended up painting this entire thing black, letting it completely dry, and then trying to hot glue the metal on there. And it actually worked a lot better than I thought. I didn't know if the hot glue would work at all, but obviously I would take the time to kind of put a staple in it or something if you had that option, or use something a little bit stronger. But for now, I will say the hot glue is holding on there really tight, but it also helps that I'm wrapping this as tight as I can around the crate. You do have to be really careful when you are applying this. You don't want to burn your fingers. I always like to dip my fingers in water and kind of cool the hot glue, so you can do that before you touch it, or use some type of like little finger protectors that like Dollar Tree sells. So be careful when you are doing that. But I'm just trying to get it as tight as I can and making the corners like really tight, so this is going to stay put. Wanting to set this outside, I did want it to be super heavy and not blow around, so I did fill it up with some of the Dollar Tree rocks before adding in the succulents, but I love the look that it gives, and I feel like it looks so cute. Obviously, I'm not going to pack it around with that handle. I'm just using it as a little decorative touch, and then sticking the little succulents down in there. This looks so adorable and perfect for a patio. Another fun idea is to use 3 of these together on a piece of wood or MDF. You can put these outside. You can add in herbs, flowers, succulents, real or fake. Sometimes I like to opt for the fake flowers from Dollar Tree, but either way you want to go, this looks so classy and is perfect for any type of style. Next up, while shopping, I found these nice plaid plank pieces. These were $3.97, so right under $4. I picked up a few of them and I instantly knew what I wanted to do. I was going to try to connect these together to make a larger piece. So the first thing I had to do was strip them down. I pulled off the labels and took the little hangers off of the back, and I'm actually going to be attaching these together a little bit later on. First, I wanted to give these a coat of stain, so using my favorite flagstone stain. That's all I use on anything anymore. I just love it so much right now. And these were a little bit tricky to stain because they did have a lot of details underneath and getting the sides of the boards, but I just took a couple extra minutes, and then after that dried, I sanded it to give it a little bit more of a distressed look and let some of that lighter color wood show through. And then using some wood glue, I am attaching these with some tower blocks. I was constantly making sure these were setting flush together so that none of the glue was going to drip in between. After they were glued together, I placed this outside on my outdoor dining table and decorated it with some solar lights and this candle, and I just love it, and it's something that won't blow away. I am all about outdoor DIYs right now. I'm using a planter or pot from Dollar Tree, as well as one of these wooden stakes from Dollar General. This is just $1. And then using one of the plant hooks. I had it upside down for a second. I'm also using some Quikrete. This is the brand that we use. I'm not even sure how much this was, but you could use any brand or size. You don't need 60 pounds of it. But we just attached the hook to the stake like we did in the previous DIYs. I painted the entire piece, the matte black. And then my husband helped me kind of mix this up, but it was super simple. I could have done it. I just put the concrete, or he just put the concrete down into the flower pot. We added some water and stirred it up. You could keep adding water until it looks like the right consistency. Definitely read the instructions on the bag. We have just kind of mixed this up before. So put that down in there until I got it wet enough, and then I put my wooden stake down in there. Now, I didn't even have to hold this. I was worried about it standing up, but it dried perfectly straight. I just kept checking on it. I hung a little DIY solar light that I had made on there, and I feel like this looks really fun. I'll definitely add something into the bottom, whether that's flowers or some pretty rock, but just quickly put this together, and I just think it's really neat. A huge thank you to Patio Well for sponsoring today's video. Patio Well sells sturdy, high-end metal sheds as well as deck boxes shipped straight to your door in manageable sized boxes that you can easily assemble to create storage space, gardening sheds, a she shed, a pool house, or really anything that you want to be covered. I helped my husband put this together. We waited till after he got off of work of the evening, so a couple of hours, and we had this put together in no time. It was a fun family project. My kids absolutely loved getting to kind of help and be a part of it. I was actually amazed at how nice that it turned out. I am excited to get all of this extra storage space. I picked the 10 by 10 metal shed, but they do offer several different sizes, colors, and styles. I'll have a link down in the description box if you want to go check that out underneath of this video. Highly recommend. I have always wanted to get an outdoor shed here, but it just feels so overwhelming trying to build that from scratch ourselves or try to get one hauled out here to a rural area. So this makes it super easy. Patio Well is a great option to skip all of that worry. They have it quickly shipped to your house with easy to follow instructions and quick assembly to create a space that you need just in time for this summer. I am in love with our new shed. This is going to make for so much space of like tubs and garden items, stuff that we don't know what to do with, that you don't really want cluttering up your garage area or any space that you do have, any living space that you have. This is the perfect summer project, so be sure to go check out those links to Patio Well down in the description box below and pick yourself one up and get that extra space that you've been needing. I know you're gonna love it, so go click the link and let's go ahead and get back on into crafting. Whenever it is time for spring decorating, I always love adding more floral and fake plants into my home, real and fake both. So I thought it would be fun to create some little planters. I actually found these faux wood plastic tubs from Dollar Tree. They look like the little barrels that you purchase for like more expensive other places. So I was so shocked to get these for just $1. I decided to go ahead and keep the wood grain. Obviously, that's why I loved it so much. So I taped it off so that I could paint the top and the bottom a little bit of a lighter shade. I do have tons of like whites and lighter woods incorporated into my decor, so I'm just lightening up that black. So I decided to go with this light gray color. It's in the steel chalk paint from Waverly Chalk Paints, and I always get asked where I purchase mine from, and I usually just pick them up at Walmart, but you can find them online sometimes. So after I got that painted, I wanted the center of this to go with the top and the bottom, so I am lightly just dry brushing that same color paint over the middle, so it just really incorporates that color all over and looks like it's kind of made to be like that. After my paint had dried, I am drilling 3 holes in it so I'll be able to hang this up with some nautical rope. I tried to get them as even as possible because this is going to make it hang straight. And then, like I say, just taking the rope, and I ended up double knotting it and then just tacking it in place with hot glue. After lots of debating, I decided to add in some of this ribbon that Dollar Tree has. This is some of my favorite ribbon that they have out right now, so definitely pick it up if you see it. But it adds so much texture and warmth to any project, and I just love it so much. It just makes it look so beautiful. So I added that around the bottom, and then the top was just an ugly like knot using this nautical rope, so I ended up just wrapping that around there to give it a little bit more of a decorative look. And then I imagined hanging this from the ceiling or a blanket ladder, but right now, just to display this, I hung it from a little shelf, but I filled it full of tons of fake greenery that I picked up from Walmart and Dollar Tree and Target, but I feel like it is such a beautiful piece and gives me all of the boho vibes. Another favorite hack is to just check your local thrift store, pick up an inexpensive lamp. I found this little mini one that I love so much. It was only $3, so an incredible deal. And I'm going to cut the cord on this. My daughter was actually in the room and she thought that I was doing something wrong, so I told her to never do this. But I wanted to trim the cord because I'm just going to be setting this outside on like a side table and putting its own little solar light inside. So you're not going to need any plug-in or cord. And I just trimmed it down as small as I could. You could fill this in with hot glue and touch it up on the paint if it bothered you, but I'm just going to turn it towards the back. Now the shade was a little beat up, but it's going to be outside, and I knew the weather was going to eventually knock it over, so I wasn't worried about it being perfect. But I put the lampshade on there and it held nice and tight, filled this full of hot glue, and then added in one of the Dollar Tree solar lights. You want to put this in a place that it does get sunshine, but this is such a quick like 5-minute hack to add extra lighting into your patio area, and it just looks so beautiful lit up at night. I am loving adding in so much color into my home and outside, especially in the summertime, and I love the color of these pink bowls. They are just so bright and vibrant, just so gorgeous. So I thought it would be fun to actually glue these backwards together, and it creates like this gorgeous planter. So I thought this would be super cute setting out on my new patio with all of my bright new colors as well as some of my neutral stuff, but it's really gonna pop and just make a cute, fun summer piece. So I love how it has this texture, and I don't care, like I'm not going to paint this. I don't care that it is shiny or anything to go outside, and that will also help with like the being water repellent and stuff. So I decided to leave it as is. I hot glued in a couple of these styrofoam discs from Dollar Tree. I did offset them a little bit to have a little bit more surface area, and then using a ton of Dollar Tree floral stems and greenery, I decided to just kind of mix it all together. I love how planters look with tons of different greenery and not just putting in one, so I am trying to go ahead and cut them off with my wire cutters and just make sure they're nice and even and spread them out everywhere. I have been loving putting all of this greenery everywhere. I know soon we're going to go into fall Dollar Tree DIYs, so I'm not going to be using a ton of greenery. So getting to use a lot of this, and it just looks so gorgeous, and I'll be able to enjoy it for a couple of more months setting out on the patio before, like I say, we go into everything like more dried and darker leaf tones. But I feel like this turned out really cute. It's a fun pop of color and just really fun to set outside. Next up, I'm using one of these nicer Dollar Tree baskets. Now this is gold, and I feel like these are such beautifully made. They have the round version and then the actual letter holder baskets. But I thought I would pair this with one of these plant hangers. They have these like chain hangers at Dollar Tree, and it actually comes with the clips on it. So all I had to do was just clip this around the basket and it would hold like a faux plant. Now you definitely could go in and spray paint the chains gold if you wanted to. I was worried about it kind of chipping off, and I didn't mind that they didn't match exactly. So I just stuck my faux plant down inside this. You could even use Dollar Tree supplies to create your own plant to hang in this. This one actually came from Big Lots, I'm pretty sure. But just set that down in there and you'll be able to hang it up just for a few bucks. Just another fun piece that I use to decorate my shelf. Next up is an adorable little piece that is sure to catch your eye. I think this little guy turned out so cute. So you have to get on Pinterest and look up flower pot people. There are thousands of ideas. People are so creative, but I thought it would be really fun to kind of take that idea and make more of a neutral green little guy that would go perfect for like boho farmhouse. So I am using 2 of the larger pots from Dollar Tree as well as 2 of the smaller ones. I ended up attaching the 2 smaller ones with a piece of jute twine with a little knot in place to hold them together. I chose the moss green color to give them this gorgeous finish. I was kind of careless about painting this because I just knew I was going to paint the bottom of these, or technically it's the top, but then I decided not to. I love that terracotta color, so I decided to go ahead and sand that down so that it made more of a straight line. And then my little person needed a face, so I took my chalk writer just to be super safe and kind of etched out the little eyes to be as even and get the shape that I was wanting, and then went in with my paint and kind of put it permanently down. And I'm just freehanding this, but you definitely can cut out the little pieces of paper, trace it on paper, and cut it out to get more of a perfect symmetrical shape. I just did my best to get these as straight and symmetrical as possible, and then taking my Sharpie, I go ahead and draw the little circle nose as well as fill in the little mouth. And it is so much fun putting this little guy together. I added a ton of hot glue to hold the arms in place, as well as sandwiched down the top pot to the bottom, and then filling in the top little pot is so much fun. You definitely can put some real potting soil and add a real plant or some type of little greenery or herbs or something in there that would grow. That would be so much fun, like the chia grass. I decided to go with more of that dangling hanging succulent, which I love it so much. It looks like hair that is actually dangling down. I felt like it needed a little bit extra detail because I am doing more of a neutral color, and I didn't go all crazy and add many details. So I put the jute twine around there, and I love, love, love how it is looking. I think it is so adorable, and it's just perfect to make this spring. I know a ton of people have glued together the Dollar Tree placemats to make little pillows, so that's what I wanted to do with these woven rugs. These have a gorgeous pattern on there, and I love the tassels on the side, but I wanted to change mine up, make it a little bit fancier by adding a stencil on there as well. So I wanted to write the word home. I just recently put up a new porch swing, and I am loving it, but I wanted some fun little throw pillows to put on there that was really inexpensive. So I chose this curly cursive little home. It did have some little details in there that I forgot to turn off, so I just ended up picking them off so that I was scared that the paint wasn't really going to show up on something that small on this much of a pattern design. So I decided just to pick those off and leave the letters to paint. I love how Cricut makes it so easy where I don't have to hand letter any letters anymore, and I can just paint it in there really sloppy and it comes out beautifully every time. So I placed the stickers back in the center. Like I say, you could use transfer tape. I was just scared it really wasn't going to work very well sticking to the rug, but the vinyl stuck better to this fabric better than I thought it would. So I would recommend trying the transfer tape first, but I was low in stock at home, so I didn't want to use it up. And then once again, dabbing this in with black paint, filling it all in, I let it dry a few minutes and then removed all of the vinyl. I I was so sad. I actually dropped some black paint on the side of this rug, so I did have to go back in and scrub it as hard as I could, and it still left a little spot, so I am going to be covering that up in a creative way, and you'll see what I mean. But a lot of people glue these together, and that's definitely what I did right here. But if you have the extra time, I would recommend, you can still glue it, but I would recommend stitching some large stitches around the edges just to make sure if this pillow does set in the sunshine or gets really warm, the glue's not melty and it doesn't pull apart, that it stays together. So gluing this on 3 sides and then filling in the top with stuffing that I had from a different throw pillow. So here you can see the black smudge on the side of the pillow that I was trying to cover up. I remembered I had these huge wooden buttons from Walmart in this jar that I picked up, so I decided just to glue them down to kind of look like they were attached on each side, and I love this. It definitely mixes in with my boho farmhouse decor. There's a lot of like wood tones out there on the porch, so I feel like this would be so beautiful, and I just love how it ended up looking sitting on this little swing. The next project is super simple, but I picked up one of these citronella candles from Walmart. I hate getting eat up by mosquitoes in the summertime, so I always have these candles sitting out everywhere ready to light them up whenever I want them, but this was just plain black and I knew we could make it look a little bit nicer if we added a decal on there. So headed back to my Cricut, I am using this clay colored vinyl, which I thought was a perfect color, and I cut out this beautiful little leaf out of the permanent vinyl, and I was able just to transfer it on this candle and really update it and make it look a lot better than just being plain black. It did have a little rough piece in the middle, so it did kind of indent around the center, but I was able to press it down in there, still get it to fit really nice and tight, and smoothing this on with my rubbing tool. And this is how it came together. I placed it outside on a DIY tray that I made, but super cute, and I love the extra detail.